real quick.
What?
Favorite dip? You get
it's
one.
delicious.
I'll go first. Salsa.
Queso, bro, over salsa.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, queso.
Yeah, take your salsa.
What?
Salsa. Second.
Pat say salsa?
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Diced up
Also-
tomatoes and onions. Yeah, you can have
Also,
it.
spinach and artichoke, crab.
Ooh, crab dip is good.
Crab dip is good.
Okay.
It's really just a form of queso.
So I'll go first. Salsa.
You are.
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss.
Oh, hey.
Oh yeah!
Good morning and welcome to episode 905 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. Today, I've got a cup of coffee full of America for you up first. Then Pat's going to take us over to Ohio for a little Senator showdown.
Oh man, it is fucking intense in Ohio. It's election season, boys.
Ooh, I'm ready for that. Wes has some Russian hijinks in the TikTok international moment. And Mark's got a racist hotel for us to close things out. How you fellas doing?
Hey, Will, why is 905 important to us? I've been waiting 24 hours to find out.
Okay, fun fact of the day, 905, that's the house number I grew up in.
Oh,
Monroe Street, yeah.
hey.
You were like
There
a
we
stone's throw away from my grandparents in that town too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they
Nice.
lived on Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really
Yep.
close, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
The old president names. You know what
Yep.
part of town you're in.
Yeah,
I meant to tell you,
Monroe
Will,
and Van Buren.
Right.
Yeah.
your old neighbor texted me. It was one of the shows I was off a couple weeks ago, and you were attacking. Who was it? Someone involved in the dossier, maybe. Some tech guy whose politics were going on. Your old neighbor texted me, says, "Will got that one wrong," and I was supposed to pass that on. It just reminded me.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
my old neighbor?
You know who that is?
No, I have no idea.
The mayor's son, our friend.
Oh, the mayor, that
Sneakerhead.
Oh.
That was a nice house, the mayor's house.
With the Lotus.
Early bird gets the yeah. So
Oh, James has some notes for me.
He's got some notes for you. So,
Tell him he
3
should
weeks
send
late.
them to me.
It's 3 weeks late.
I got a bunch. I got a bunch of shit for the Boeing stuff. Apparently, not a lot of people not happy about the fact that the Boeing 737 is different than the Max, which we said.
Yes.
But that it doesn't have that thing in the back, the MCAS navigation
Right.
system, so that therefore it couldn't be the same bug.
Looks, guys, it's the
Whatever.
Mustang that's killing people, not the Explorer. Okay.
Yeah, it's still Boeing, okay? Boeing's got some explaining to do.
Yeah, one guy reached out on Instagram. It was hilarious. He goes, "Your guys' aviation knowledge is cringe," which I just thought was the most
Well,
hilarious.
To be
DM ever.
fair, yes, it probably is.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, well, you're
Very
right.
true. Hand up. None of us are pilots.
Is that a new
Yeah.
man skill? I mean, like, I know,
That's true.
like driving a stick, having a
Well,
gun,
we're just not, we never spent any time in the aviation
cleaning
biz.
a deer. No, I bet is he trying to say that
we should
aviation
know?
knowledge is
He
Well,
bad?
no, it was like-
probably works for like Boeing or something like that.
It's okay. Yeah, we've definitely upset Lockheed and Boeing recently,
Yeah,
and I'm
for
sure
sure.
that's why a lot of people in Northern Virginia are very upset with me right now.
Well, go,
Truth.
cry on your fucking
Truth.
stacked 401ks. You
Yeah.
brain cell losing Chinese getting beat by motherfuckers.
You rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, maybe develop a hypersonic missile and shut the fuck up. It's time to do the news.
Woo.
Yeah, cup of coffee. Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
But by the way, one of my favorite things ever was hearing Joe Biden talk about the hypersonic missile and explain it the other day. Did you guys hear that?
No,
No.
what? How did he?
It was just awesome. He was like, "This thing is fast, man. You can't stop it. It's too fast." Which I had lots of questions about. He answered all of them.
It's pretty much just way faster than our like rockets right now.
It's
But
not
then
good.
people are like, is it really that important how fast it goes? And like, there's a lot of
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
very-
the only
very-
defense
yeah.
we have
Yeah.
is whatever.
very important.
Why don't you ask the guy who tries to catch the Roadrunner?
Yeah, speed,
Coyote?
pretty
Yeah, the Coyote. Why don't you ask
Wiley.
Wiley E?
speed's a pretty big component. Yeah,
Thank
of
you, Wes.
missiles, from what I understand. Okay, we already covered the fun fact. March 23rd holidays are Cuddly Kitten Day, National Puppy Day, National Chip and Dip Day, and National Tamale Day. So that's a great collection. Going to be a great day.
That is good.
Hopefully
Chip and dip day, yeah.
you get a little bit of all that. I mean, if you don't like one of those four, you're going to love one of the other four at least, right? Like, I mean, nobody can go through kittens, puppies, chips and dip, and tamales and be like, I hate all of them.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah,
a 3 out of 4.
I'm sure there's some people out
most
there who are
people.
like tamales. Real quick,
What?
favorite dip? You get
Tamales are
one.
delicious.
I'll go first. Salsa.
Queso, bro, over salsa.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, queso.
Yeah, take your salsa.
What?
Salsa. Second.
Pat say salsa?
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Diced up
Also-
tomatoes and onions? Yeah, you can have
Also,
it.
spinach and artichoke, crab.
Ooh, crab dip is good.
Crab dip is good.
Okay.
It's really just a form of queso.
So I'll go first. Salsa.
Before anyone else picks it.
Yeah.
Staking my claim. All right. Speaking of staking your claim, March 23rd in history in 1775, Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death."
That's right.
On March 23rd. And that speech pretty much put Virginia into the Revolutionary War against the Crown of
I
England.
think that was James Madison who said that.
No.
Patrick Henry.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's James Madison.
No, I Googled it recently because I thought it was James Madison too, and it's not. It's
Oh.
Patrick Henry. It's
Go
always
ahead
been
and look it
Patrick
up.
Henry.
Go ahead and look it up. It's
Take that up with Madison Cawthorn. He thinks
Patrick
different.
Henry.
Yeah.
And then fast forward 31 years, and in 1806, Lewis and Clark's return trip begun. Having completed the first U.S. overland expedition to the Pacific coast, explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark this day in 1806 began their return to St. Louis, Missouri, where their journey had begun in May 1804.
What a trip.
Mhm. Army expedition. Didn't know that. Also, Sacagawees, right? I think she had a 1-month-old baby when she started that trip
Whoa.
Impressive.
that she rolled with.
Very impressive. Well, she knew the lands, obviously.
You got to think that the Native Americans would have had a much better time if they just would have offed those two before they got back and
For
spilled
sure.
the beans about
They
everything.
should have just got rid of them right away.
Yeah, they should have killed them immediately.
Lead them to the closest
It's-
tribe and just get rid of them. But
You know what it's like, Wes? It's like that first.
Killer bees.
No, it's like that. Well, it's like that first boat that showed up in Hawaii, and the natives were like,
Right.
"Uh oh."
But then
exactly.
you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Killed them too.
Oh,
Yeah.
West the Europeans, the Spanish and the English were such a scourge on the American continent. I don't know if
Yeah.
getting rid of these two guys really would have stopped the.
Well,
It
look,
would have slowed it down.
I got news for you. It's still going on, as you'll hear in my story at the tail end of the show. We're not done with the Native Americans yet.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's move it along to trending news then, so we can get to the Native American bashing quicker. First up, honorable mentions. I'm going to do good news, bad news.
Okay.
I
First,
like that. Yeah.
the good news. Former Nickelodeon child acting star Amanda Bynes. Her conservatorship has ended after nearly 9 years at age
Wow.
35 for Amanda.
Congrats.
Yes, congrats to her. Her parents have voiced approval on top of the courts, which is important since she had previously falsely accused her father of sexually abusing her on Twitter. And the other low light of Amanda's rock bottom was when she tweeted at Rihanna that Chris Brown beat her because she wasn't pretty enough. But
Well,
Bynes,
that's not true.
Beat Rihanna
Rihanna's
or
very-
beat Amanda Bynes?
Rihanna.
beat Rihanna.
Rihanna's very pretty. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was back in Bynes's drug addiction, alcohol addiction, many addictions days.
Right,
But
but
Bynes
why-
claims
I understand the Rihanna thing, like, because you say stupid shit when you're drunk, and like, you know, she shouldn't have said it, but the dad a sexual assault thing, where does
Oh,
that
it
come
was-
from? Where does that come from? Even drunk or high? What is that?
Was it true?
And whose dad is on
no.
Twitter?
She admitted it was not
No.
true later on.
Oh, that's insane.
I
Well, if
think
you're in
that may have been.
conservatorship,
I think that may have been. She was mad about being put in the conservatorship.
Yeah, I think so too. I would have said that. I would have said the same thing if I was a conservatorship.
I see.
Honestly,
All right, Wes, don't get in one because that will make it last almost 9 years. But Bynes claims she's been sober since 2014, although she did get a face tat in 2019, and that she regrets all those mistakes of her past life and that she's ready to start over, free of the conservatorship. Good for her. But hopefully she bought some nice makeup gifts for her dad and Rihanna. Some damaging stuff there. And
Yeah.
even though Amanda has wisely deleted her Twitter, you can find her on Instagram again at Amanda.Bynes1986. You can follow her business plans, her engagement to Big Paul, who she met in rehab, and her documenting her tattoo face tattoo removal.
Who's Big
process.
Paul?
A man.
Some
who she met.
some guy that had a hell of a time in rehab.
A drug dealer,
fiance.
Pat.
Yeah.
Her fiance.
I guess it's Big Paul Castellano, the mobster, went by Big Paul, but I doubt the same Big
Is
Paul.
it a
He's
different
dead.
Big Paul?
Yeah,
It's
he's
a younger Big Paul. He lives
died
in
at
Los
85.
Angeles.
Big Sean's cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially. Okay,
He's
that
a
was
little guy. It's ironic.
Yeah.
good news, right, guys, for Amanda.
That was good.
She's
Yeah, that's good.
on to the next chapter. We wish you luck, Amanda.
Mhm.
Bad news. Taking it to the internet, The Hill, they report about stuff that happens on Capitol Hill. They say daylight saving change faces trouble in house.
Come on.
That's not a good headline. Not only is that a bad headline, Mark, the article goes on to quote Congress people from both sides of the aisle talking shit about the bill, the daylight savings canceling, and questioning if it's important at all. Basically seems like it's may get shelved and killed potentially in the House. Which, if
What? The Senate was unanimous.
What's the
unanimous
reasoning?
Senate, yeah,
We haven't been like this united since 9/11, man. Honestly, the
right.
daylight savings bill.
The House says they're not in any rush at all and would need many, many, many more studies to even consider bringing it to a vote. So if it is killed, I have to give a lot of credit to my wife. She was a former lobbyist in Texas who called this right away. Right after we recorded that show, we were all so fucking happy. Like, no more daylight savings, amazing. She told me they actually do this in Texas every session, which is every other year, where one chamber passes it and the other one doesn't even bring it to a vote, so they can all pretend to care that they're trying to change it, even though they don't ever do it.
Because they're in the pockets of whoever wants it to stay the same.
lobbyists or
Yeah.
whoever.
Big farmer.
Do they? Yeah. No, I don't think it's farming. Stop blaming them for this. But do they?
Big
do
bus, big bus driver.
they? Do they?
Mhm.
Do they alternate? Like, so like next year the House would pass this and the Senate wouldn't.
I think that's how Texas games it.
Come
like where
on.
it's like a
Yeah.
total handshake deal. Like,
Yeah.
all right, now we pass it and y'all don't.
We'll play
pass
good
it.
cop. You play bad cop. Yeah.
Now we pass it and y'all don't pass.
Why don't
it.
you
They
come
just,
on
like,
down to the cloakroom and we'll figure out
Exactly.
exactly who's it going to be.
They definitely hatched that plan at the cloakroom in Austin, Texas.
Damn.
Mhm.
Good call, Pat. Yeah. So that's. I mean, hopefully it overcomes that and it does. But truly terrible news if dead. Back to the good news. A new Witcher game has been announced by
Good.
CD Projekt Red. So you should see that someday. You know,
Ho,
like in a
ho,
decade,
ho.
maybe the next decade or
Those
so.
are the same assholes that took my cash for that stupid Keanu Reeves game that I couldn't play for more than an
Yep.
hour.
Cyberpunk 2077. Same
Yeah.
here,
You
Pat.
haven't downloaded
I didn't get
the
a
patches
It was the
or anything?
pandemic and I couldn't even get through it.
In PS4, they didn't really patch it well. They focused on the new gen. So
What?
yeah, and I couldn't get a refund either because I missed the window. So yeah,
Damn.
Pat and I both spent $60 for a game that didn't work. Yeah.
So I got boned.
Yeah.
Well, The Witcher was incredible.
I
Witcher
turned
3
my
was
back.
incredible.
Witcher
I'm-
3 is one of the best games ever made.
Right.
My punk's been just sitting there fucking alone for months and months and months. Like I just left him.
Bad punk.
He's like still stuck in a wall. Like,
Oh my god, poor bastard.
so many bugs.
All right. Back to the bad news, unfortunately. It sounds like Witcher CD Projekt Red may have already been bad news. I doing this style, I learned there's a lot more bad news and good news. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Bad news rundown. Jen Psaki, press secretary for the White House. She has COVID for the second time in the last 5 months. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is going through Senate confirmation hearings, may not get confirmed for the Supreme Court by the Senate, which would draw out that process if she's blocked. It pretty much all comes down to King Mansion and Queen Cinema. A vote should happen by April 8th.
Did you watch any of that today?
I did. I was
I watched
impressed
the
by her.
highlight from her. Yeah. I thought she did fine. But there
It was
were
fucking
certain
bizarre.
issues there were certain issues where people were really not. I mean, like
What
child
was it like?
pornography and Guantanamo Bay.
Ooh, child pornography is a tough one. You got to
Well,
be on.
the tough part, I think,
Right.
Guantanamo Bay.
She'd worked to like reform the sentencing, but people saw it as soft on.
Right. You can't
child
be so, yeah,
pornographers.
right.
Right. So
that.
so there's
It
a
was
couple
political
of-
attacks, honestly, but yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
there's a
well, that's how
couple-
this goes.
That's how this
Yeah.
goes. Yeah,
That's how this goes.
That's the process.
Yeah. This is.
I think I tuned in when the Democrats were questioning her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So there.
She did
so
great,
It was all,
yeah.
it was
She
all
did
like
awesome.
sunshine and
Yeah.
rainbows. Yeah.
I was very impressed.
So Saturday, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Man, you're smart. Aren't you just so
Yeah.
smart? Tell everybody how smart you are.
She blew my mind.
I forget who it was. I should have looked at the TV. I was just listening. But the one Republican congressman who was questioning her was like, he would ask her a question that they had common ground on, and he did this 3 or 4 times. He goes, "Good, glad we see eye to eye on something," and then he did it again and again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I'm sure she's great at her job. I think there's probably a lot of people qualified. I think Kavanaugh was qualified. I think she's qualified.
Yeah.
I think they just go through this process of like being dicks to each other.
Exactly, and it's all for the camera. And then in the end, it just comes down to how the votes go, which it comes down to King Cinema or King Mansion and Queen Cinema in this case because it's the Senate. And you know they're in the position they are. Extra bad news. Ted Cruz, he berated an airline counter worker. Into calling a nearby cop over in Montana. So the video was posted on Reddit, and so people were like going nuts about it because Ted Cruz is just like people love when Ted Cruz is being a dick.
I'll tell you what, he missed his flight. His flight was closed out of Bozeman or to Bozeman or wherever the fuck, and then he was pissed because he thought they should open up the door for him, and he said something to the tune of "Don't you know who I am?" and he caused a big stink because
you can't really hear anything in the video, so that's why I played it on
I read the article. Yeah, that's what happened.
Cruz's "Don't you know who I am?" people, come on.
Yeah, he is.
Well, the lady was nervous, and like the on-site officer like walks over, like, "Are you okay, ma'am?" And Ted Cruz is just angry in his mask. Yeah,
open the
like
door.
7 people at max at any airport in Montana. Like Ted 7 Cruz, tops.
Ted Cruz is usually one of them.
Yeah, they know who you are.
Former actor Moses Mosley from The Walking Dead. His January death has been ruled gunshot to the head, but sadly, Henry County, Georgia can't tell if it was self-harm or not. So that's a bad update.
No.
Bad news. Thoughts and prayers to the family. And Chinese construction giant Evergrande continues to look like it's about to totally implode financially. They're refusing to report their financials and like they can't pay back their creditors and a whole lot of.
Are they related to the shipping company from Thailand, Evergrande and Evergreen?
Evergiven? No,
that company's called Evergreen, and they had the Evergiven and the Everforward. It was called Evergreen.
I don't think they're related, but Evergrande is mainland China's major construction.
They're an everything company, but they're the company that when they started doing poor financially, they started forcing their employees to forfeit half their paychecks to buy stock options in the film company. Yeah.
Very cool name, Mark. Kind of sounds like a Ponzi scheme, right?
Yeah, true.
Don't they build iPhone factories?
Multi-level marketing.
They build it all, baby.
Yeah.
They got all of it. But they can't report on their financials. We'll see where that goes, which brings us to
the cream of the crop.
All right. Number 1, Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. You say it, or you say George Masvidal?
No, Jorge, you had it. Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
Okay. I get confused with the JORGEs, but both famous fighters in their own right, both Trump supporting Florida men.
That's right. They just fought.
Although Jorge, he says that he thinks that Donald prefers him over Colby.
I think he's a fan of both of those guys.
Both UFC stars. But despite their many similarities, there's plenty of bad blood, guys, because like Mark just said, Covington dominated Masvidal at UFC 272 on March 5th. And after the fight, he declared himself the king of Miami.
Will Smith would like to maybe have a word about that.
Well, so would Jorge Masvidal. You see, Covington trains out of Miami now, but he's originally from near Fresno in California.
Whoa.
And you wouldn't believe it, but Miami native Jorge Masvidal
and
for life.
And Cuban American.
Yeah, didn't like that very much.
Yeah.
So
what's he going to do about it?
Wes, you're
about to find out.
He's going to do something. So when Jorge saw this Instagram story on Monday night from Covington, it's at a Miami steak house called Papi Steak. You see that?
The king of Miami right there.
Yeah, king of Miami, Colby Covington, Bob
Crown
Menery.
the man.
Yeah, they're over at Papi Steak, but I guess, and I mean, this happened so recently that Instagram story is still up. And I guess when Masvidal saw it, he was like, "It's on." So Masvidal rushed over to Papi Steak, where he forced TMZ to pay. Hold on, I gotta load this video for you guys. He forced TMZ to pay a shitload of money for a bunch of kids' cameras, and this is the video they got. I'm gonna play it for you on silent.
Okay.
Wait,
it's hard
so
to hear. Hard to hear what they say. In the
He
video.
like forced a TMZ guy like because he was giving the TMZ.
Team Masvidal is Jorge because he doesn't give a fuck about any of this. Sorry, here is his video from Monday night after the assault, claiming it. So he posted this on Twitter.
Face challenge, you know. What's up? I'm from Dade County.
So
You talk that shit, you gotta back it up. That's how my city rolls, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he also said show your face because he knows his face is missing a tooth.
Right, it is. Yeah, the good news for Jorge is it looks like he won because even on Covington's Wikipedia page, it notes that while Covington dominated UFC 272, Masvidal won the subsequent fight for the
That's
King of
amazing.
Miami at Papi Steak House on March 21st, 2022.
Oh, that's a great Wikipedia update.
So that's the good news for
Oh.
Jorge. The bad news, though, for the newly crowned King of Miami, Masvidal, as Mark said, he is now the only suspect in the case, and the cops are looking for the guy who broke one of Covington's teeth
That's
from
right.
an alleged running sucker punch from the
Yeah.
side while screaming, "You shouldn't have been talking about my kids!"
Yeah.
So,
apparently he said something about his kids he didn't like or something.
So we'll
the
see how
princes
it
and
unfolds from here.
Yeah, the princess of Miami. Yeah.
Miami.
Well, no, because Covington was the king, so it would be like the lords. You know,
dethroned.
But
right.
Masvidal's technically the king now, even though he is under investigation. So he could be dethroned by the cops, I guess.
Tell you what, that kind of
Right.
Wikipedia update, just letting you guys know a little inside baseball, that's going to get your privileges suspended. So someone really
Worth it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Worth it.
The Masvidal army is strong and
One of the best
Yeah.
Wikipedia updates of all time. Yeah, those guys used to be best friends and teammates at American Top Team. Obviously, they don't like each other much now.
I mean, brothers fight, and it seems like maybe also press charges because Covington might is looking like he's
When was their boxing
press
match?
charges
They fought in the
recently, March 5th.
They headlined the UFC last
Oh, the
month.
UFC guys. Okay.
UFC. Yeah.
Covington beat him 50-44 because he just
I mean,
wrestled
it was a
him.
domination.
I mean, if you're Dana White, like that shit shouldn't fly, right?
no. I mean, Pat, all fighters besides Nate Diaz are basically with Covington on this one. They're like
Masvidal's
it
gonna
shouldn't-
get
it's out of the
Masvidal's,
ring.
Masvidal's going to get a felony assault charge. He's
Yeah,
gonna,
right.
It's you gotta. It's in the public.
He's
I just-
he's claiming it and he knocked his tooth out in public. I mean,
I just brought up Diaz because I thought it was funny that Diaz
Yeah.
is still riding with Masvidal. That's such a Diaz move.
are you sure Diaz is riding with Masvidal? Because it's unclear. There's a poll out there asking who he's talking about. Because
Well, he's talking shit to Menery.
Diaz's tweet, yes, but he might be talking. He talks shit to everyone. Diaz's tweet says, "Why are you going to snitch on yourself?" Because that could have been Diaz saying Masvidal claiming it is
Right.
snitching on himself.
That I think he was saying that Masvidal shouldn't have posted that
Oh,
video.
so he was just saying, "Don't do that." Yeah.
But then he
Yeah.
did call Menery a whiny bitch because Menery was saying that he's
Right.
upset with Masvidal.
A lot of people were talking shit about Menery. Yeah.
I bet you could probably someone could make an inflatable octagon. Like someone should roll with an octagon, and when these guys square up, just bam, throwing up around them real
in
quick.
Miami on spring break, which is on lockdown right now for the second time in 4 years, they could do like a foam party, a foam
Pat,
fight.
you ever
Phone
seen
fight?
Lionheart? That's
Yeah.
what cars are for. Lionheart, you
Lionheart,
just
yeah.
move the cars
Box
in
them
a
in.
circle and put the
You need
lights on.
8
That's
cars. That's a lot
Were
of
these
cars.
guys doing this?
Yeah.
Was this after curfew, Will? Because they got curfew going on in Miami.
No, this was during dinner, Mark. Apparently,
Okay.
he ran up during dinner.
This is why they've declared a state of emergency in Miami
Part of
once
it.
again.
It's
Because
part
of
of it.
Jorge.
Yeah.
Once
George-
again, every spring
George
break
has
they do
forced
it.
us into a
Yes.
state of emergency.
Like, don't remember. There's always these stories that people like. I shouldn't have gone to Miami for spring break. I had to stay in my hotel room starting at 8 p.m. Like,
Yeah.
go somewhere else.
Good Lord. Miami sounds like a fun time, but
Yeah. Not during
Masvidal,
spring break.
No, it's
He's
spring.
got to lay low, or something's gonna happen here. We'll see what happens. And today's cup of coffee was brought to you by longtime supporters of Hard Factor, Stamps.com. Not only does Stamps.com support us as a sponsor, they support us as a small business as well, because Stamps.com lets us print official postage right from our computers and saves us money in the process. You can spend less time at the post office and more time making your customers happy. Stamps.com gives you access to all the post office and UPS shipping services you need right from your computer and get discounts you can't find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS. Whether you're in office sending invoices, a side hustle, Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders, Stamps.com will make your life easier. All you need is a computer and a standard printer, no special supplies or equipment. You're up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send it. Stop overpaying for shipping with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code HARDFACTOR, all one word, for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code HARDFACTOR, all one word.
You boys like action?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, you're in luck because my bookie has all the action. It's March Madness, boys, and they very, very smartly. I didn't know this, but they're spread it out over the weekends, right? So you got time to get in on the action. The Sweet 16 starts very soon, and it's time for you to shoot your shot and score big on the nonstop action with my bookie. I'm putting my whole stack behind those little engines that could St. Pete's from Jersey City, New Jersey.
All the way, huh?
Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whoa.
I hope you didn't put a lot on them.
But you can do that at my bookie.
You know something?
Yeah, I know they're a max of 6'4".
Someone get hurt?
They're 15 seed.
Their center is 6'4".
How'd they get this far?
Because they got
Grit
lucky.
and determination.
Passion.
Wing and a prayer.
Passion,
Yeah,
and that's how I feel about my bookie. I'm passionate. Doesn't matter where you're filling out multiple brackets, bet the national championship winner, somebody looking for player and game props. Honestly, guys, my bookie has a huge book, massive book, so many options. Get on there. You'll be delighted. You could sign up at mybookie.com and use promo code FACTOR to secure a first deposit bonus of up to $1,000. It's pretty simple. You put in $200 and you play with $300. Just use promo code FACTOR to claim your bonus. So got it. College, b-ball, NBA, UFC. I learned about some UFC fighters tonight. I'm going to bet on the one with the broken tooth next time he comes through. No matter the minute. Yeah. No matter the minute.
They have a rematch. Bet on broken tooth.
He
Yeah.
doesn't lose often unless he's fighting Usman. Good bet.
You ever lost a tooth? You get mad, man. You get the candy bar that took my tooth. My bookie puts the action in your hands with the in-game live betting and with choices from thousands of lines, odds you can turn any game day into payday. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.com. Promo code FACTOR. Guys, things are heating up in state politics. Well, U.S. politics, the whole politics. It's politics season, boys.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best time of the fucking year, and shit is getting hot right now. Hot in Ohio. Let me please introduce you boys to the two of the U.S. senatorial hopefuls for the Republican Party out of the Buckeye State, Ohio. First, I want you to meet the man on the left, rich old Mike Gibbons. Yeah, no one knows exactly how old Mike is, but he's easily 60-something.
Rich.
Oh, he's rich as fuck.
Yeah.
Glass eye.
He can afford it, he looks like he can take a shit, I'll tell you that much. According to Ballotopedia, Gibbons is a businessman, an investor. It says his background in the private sector has prepared him for the U.S. Senate, saying, quote, "My job was to go in and convince CEOs and CFOs that they could trust me to handle the most important transactions those companies would ever do." Gibbons was the co-chair of Donald Trump's 2016 fundraising in Ohio, and once said of Chinese people, quote, "They're very good at copying." Here's a bit from hard-hitting, hard-shitting, blunt-talking Mike Gibbons, who's put millions of his own coin into his campaign thus far to win the senatorial seat out of Ohio. So that's a guy that can shit.
Oh, yeah. Firm
I'm
handshake.
Mike Gibbons. I'm running for the U.S. Senate.
Holy moly.
I'm a businessman, not a politician.
How is his
lucky
blood
I don't
pressure?
have
plain
How has
spoken
his
and I
blood
tell it
pressure
like
not
it
killed
is.
him yet?
Some folks on the left and in the establishment may not like that, but that's too bad. It's who I am, it's how I'll run this campaign, and it's how I'll represent you in Washington.
Think
I
this
grew
guy
up
likes
in Parma,
football?
a working-class suburb of Cleveland.
Yeah.
My father was a high school teacher and a wrestling coach.
Yeah.
My grandfather was president of the laborers union. I went to work at an early age. I had a paper route, worked a bandsaw on a factory floor, and poured
Lost a
concrete.
hand.
I started my own business at the age of 37, working alone in a small office with just a phone
that
and a
young.
desk.
It's not young at all.
Today, I've achieved financial success beyond my wildest imagination. I've achieved my American dream. And now I'm running for the U.S. Senate to make sure other people have the ability to achieve their American dream.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No,
What do you
no.
need to know about me?
There's more.
Well, I believe that America is the greatest country in the history of the world.
Hell yeah.
I believe we need to stand up to the cancel culture and the lies of those who seek
Cancel
to
it.
divide us.
Give this
I
guy
believe
a
that
couple cold
politicians
beers.
don't create jobs,
like 'em so
businesses
far,
do.
yeah.
I know because I've done it.
This video
I
is
believe
getting
that families matter,
Yeah.
churches matter, neighborhoods and small towns matter.
He's just
I
playing the
believe we need
hints.
to secure our borders, stand for life, and defend our Second Amendment rights. And I believe
Gays?
our rights come from
No
God
thanks.
Almighty, not the
Yeah.
government. And that's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate.
All right, you get it. He's not going to stop until he's clogging
Oh, he's
toilets.
He's gonna win. Yeah.
in the House
He
of
showed,
Congress.
he showed an
Mop the floor.
AK-47 when he talked about how much he loves the Second Amendment. He's like, I
Rich-
love it so much, I'm going to show a fucking assault rifle.
Rich Gibbons is winning that fucking race.
He gets
Right.
a vote with every handshake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's size 13.
Did you feel his
shoe
hands?
Yeah.
wearing.
Got my
They
vote.
don't. Well, they don't call him hands. They call him mitts. When
That
he gets his
guy,
mitts on you.
his favorite vegetable is pork. Yeah. So this is a Donald Trump disciple showdown in Ohio. So we got
Oh, who's the other guy?
Shit and hard hitting Mike Gibbons, but I'd like for you to also meet one of Mike's 6 Republican opponents, young, straight, and brave Josh Mandel.
Who's the incumbent? Or
This
are
guy
they
better be
replacing
impressive.
somebody?
No incumbent, baby.
No incumbent.
He's got no shot.
Yeah, Josh
This
is
guy's got no shot.
he's just 44 years young, and according to Wikipedia, he's an American far-right politician who served as the 48th treasurer of Ohio from 2011 to 2019. He's a member of the Republican Party, and he previously was the Ohio State Representative for the 17th District from 07 to 011. He was the unsuccessful Republican challenger to Democratic incumbent Sherwood Brown in the 2012 U.S. Senate election. He served 2 tours in Iraq with the United States Marine Corps. As the treasurer of Ohio, he once approved a $1.7 million spend on a series of taxpayer-funded television ads featuring him and Cold Fingers Urban Meyer. According to his website, he is pro-gun, pro-God, pro-Trump, is against same-sex marriage, engaged in the military, and isn't into the whole climate change conspiracy. Here's a bit from Josh.
And every Republican who took our tax dollars and used them to
audio
bail
on
out
this,
Wall
Josh,
Street banks
so
was
I'll
dead
do it for
wrong.
you.
I'm Josh. It was fiscally irresponsible. It was morally wrong. But somehow these politicians in
We can hear it.
Washington think they
We can
can
hear
live
it.
by a different set of rules. The more that we
That's Josh.
We can hear it, Pat.
We could hear that.
We could hear it. Yeah.
We could hear the Josh thing. We can't hear you. You can't hear
Yeah,
anything.
Now Pat's done.
Oh, he can't hear anything. Oh,
Something happened.
yeah. He's all
Pat's ears went dead.
I'm
no
gonna
video,
play-
no audio on Josh.
I want to play that clip because
Yeah,
which
play
one
it.
was it? Was it this one?
hardworking blue-collar
Yeah.
workers to
Yeah.
grow the economy, the stronger we'll be as a nation. The only way to change Washington is to change the people we send there. The only way to create a better environment in Ohio for job creation is
guy's
to elect
young.
new leaders.
Still
I'm
young.
Josh Mandel, and I approve this message.
There's no way you look that young and you beat a guy
No.
that looks
Gibbons?
like he shits like the whole toilet bowl full.
Looks like he shits Josh.
Josh for
the
Josh.
Production value is just so much better on the other dudes.
That
too.
was way shorter too. So I'm seeing here on Predict It, which if you go to what predictit.org/promo/hard factor 40, they'll match $40.
That's right.
Mike Gibbons is very much the favorite to get Donald Trump's endorsement. Josh is third. Matt Dolan's second.
He's going to
for
get Trump's
Republicans.
endorsement. This is
Gibbons is shit. The shoulder, the mitts on Gibbons is getting him that.
Josh Mandel, Pat, is surging to get second place. So what happened?
well,
to
let's
make
talk
him,
about the main fucking event, boys. Let's talk about why we're talking about these two weirdos. Back on Friday, Big Money Mike, and don't even think about telling because I'm not going to ask Josh, got into it on the debate stage in Gahanna, which is a Columbus suburb. And Josh said, "Oh, Mike, didn't you make all that cash on that Chinese stock?" Which Mike did not like. And then, guys, this happened.
that with the Federal Elections Commission. You own stock in Chinese Petro.
I personally didn't buy the stock.
The old sounding ones.
You made millions off it, sir.
I
Oh,
don't think I made millions off.
he's
of
standing over him.
I'd love to have made millions off of Chinese Petro. First of all,
Shanghai Shenda and Chinese Petro.
buying a second. You may not understand this because you've
I
never been
understand
in
it
the
fully.
No, you don't.
I do.
You've never been in the
I
private
understand it.
sector. And
All right,
I've
worked, sir.
Josh, squat. About
2 tours in Iraq. Don't tell me I haven't worked. Don't tell me I haven't worked.
You don't know squat.
Listen to this guy.
It's okay, right?
It's okay.
You don't know squat.
You don't know
2 tours in Iraq. Don't tell me I haven't
Back
worked.
off, buddy. Or you're gonna
You
die.
back off.
Come on.
Never. That'll happen.
Sit down.
Never.
Watch.
Did he say back off? You're gonna die soon.
No, you're dealing with the wrong guy. You watch what happens. You watch what happens.
Called him a
Did you say
pussy.
pussy?
Called him a pussy?
He called him a pussy.
Mike Gibbons called him a pussy?
Yeah, Mike Gibbons called Mandel a pussy there at the end.
You watch what happens.
Damn.
No, you're gonna regret it.
Well, this is a race we got to keep our eyes on.
We gotta keep our
We
fucking
got to get one of
eyes.
these. We got to get these guys on. Is what we got to do.
We got to get both of them on, but trick them and have them on at the same time, but don't tell them.
Yeah, so Josh Mandel, though, I can see why he's surging to lose now, because what he did there was he lost his cool, and then he stood up in the face of somebody who was totally unafraid of him, just completely unscared of Josh Mandel. Mike Gibbons was.
Right.
He
And
was-
you know what's great is there's an America off going on between them because as you heard, Josh Mandel did 2 tours in Iraq, and Mike Gibbons' son did some tours too. So Gibbons is sitting there saying, "I hate it when those Marines will just throw it around, trying to make you feel like they're more American than you."
Like half my family did 18 tours. What do
Not
you
to
think about
mention,
that, Josh?
not to mention the fact that Mike Gibbons spent over 60 years knowing that this is the greatest country in the history of the world. So don't out American Gibbons. Like,
Well,
that's,
he tried to. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Josh Mandel just tried to, and he's paying the price because I see him just surging and predicted to get second place.
He's dealing with the wrong dude. I will tell you this. This is how you know political season's heating the fuck up, boys.
this is awesome.
Because retired General Michael Flynn came out, and he's getting in the mix because every politician's getting in. They're all getting their bits in. Flynn came out and said, "Hey, Gibbons, you better apologize for insulting the U.S. military."
Oh, Flynn's team Mandel.
Mm-hmm,
He
absolutely.
didn't insult the. He didn't
I don't think he
insult the
insulted. Yeah, I
military.
don't think he
didn't insult
insulted
the military
Exactly.
at
It's
all.
politicians politicking.
By not
One
backing
Marine a
down.
pussy. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not insulting the military.
By running
They're off
against
limits.
the guy who did 2 tours, you better apologize.
Yeah, that's an insult.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, Mandel did spend $1.7 million just so he could be in a commercial with Urban Meyer, and everyone was like, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah, that's also two. He double whammied himself. He had those two, and now it's off the rails for Mandel.
I'm excited to see what Mandel does next, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're rubbing shoulders. They had a pancake breakfast on Saturday morning, and it was a tense.
Yeah.
We'll get him.
Gibbons is just like, can't believe I have to eat these pancakes next to this pussy.
Oh, you know Mandel's like trying to shit harder in the stall next to him, but he's getting outclassed in there too.
What is that? A double stack
He's
pussy?
just- yeah.
Gibbons has got 6 pancakes.
He's got 8 of them on his.
Oh yeah. Oh, he can out eat him for sure.
Dude, Gibbons' comm team.
Without a doubt.
Gibbons' comm team also, man, they are on top of their fucking shit. Within 2 hours of that happening, they had taken that photo of them standing toe to toe and made a graphic that said Josh Mandel, unhinged and childish.
Can we try to organize a Skyline chili off between these two guys?
Yeah,
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, I don't know what you'll get.
Gibbons would crush.
I know,
Gibbons
but-
would crush. Who do you think?
That gets you elected.
He's
These guys
plumber's
are gonna
worst
go against-
nightmare.
He's keeping so many plumbers employed in Ohio.
Well, he can afford to too.
Yeah,
He's got so many toilets.
That's right.
Clogs them all. These guys are gonna, whoever wins this is gonna go against Tim Ryan.
Yeah, I think it's the primary. It's May 3rd.
Yeah, whoever wins this. So this is actually big
Oh.
potatoes though, because whoever wins this goes against Tim Ryan for the Senate seat.
Wow, Ohio.
Yeah.
Big
Got
deal.
to keep our eye on it.
Look at the timestamp on this tweet, dude. This is the same fucking day. Josh Mandel is unhinged, unfit, and flailing because
Oh,
He is
Gibbons
unhinged.
losing.
Gibbons capitalizes, bro. Gibbons
Oh,
is
look at Gibbons. Gibbons
Yeah.
has got so many social media guys just feeding him memes, and he's just
He didn't look back. He didn't look intimidated. He looked
His
like
39 followers or 3,900 followers are about to have some company, if you know what I mean.
I mean, Gibbons is winning this race. After
I wanna-
watching that video,
Josh showed his cards on that.
Gibbons is winning this race.
Yeah.
All right,
JD
guys.
Vance, I guess, is another.
Yeah, Vance is involved. Did you say service?
Yeah. Don't you talk to me about anything. I did 2 tours.
Yeah, I mean Mandel.
Just give me the nomination.
Yeah, he lost his cool, unfortunately.
Yeah,
for
well,
him.
he's.
Oh,
you
Mandel
can
had
tell
to
he's
shake it
little
up a
bit
bit.
off.
He's young. He's
No, he
not.
had to
he
shake it
didn't,
up a bit.
but he didn't shake it up right. He got punked when he tried to shake it up, and so
He did get called a pussy by a
yeah, and he
septuagenarian.
sat down while being called that. So I mean, it wasn't exact. While being told by the guy on the side,
He
like
stood up to look unhinged, then get called a pussy, then sit back down.
Right,
Not,
it wasn't
not
Shit
great.
up. I'm gonna come take a shit
Miscalculation.
at your house. That's the last thing you want.
miscalculation from Mandel there.
Put your tiny hand in my hand.
Yeah. Exactly.
Look at your little baby hand.
Yeah, let me see that baby hand, boy.
Hold a microphone with them small hands.
How'd you
gonna
pull
buy
the
you-
trigger with those
My
little
hand
fingers?
looks like a swelled up Orbeez compared to yours.
I'm gonna buy you a bicycle.
All right, let's get out of Ohio and take a little trip.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Just one today, but we're going to go to Russia, where, according to the Daily Beast article, which I'm going to reference a lot, written by Allison Quinn, so shout out Allison, Putin is getting desperate to fill his military after huge losses already in the war against Ukraine. So he has taken to desperate and unorthodox measures to fill the holes in his battle lines with men with checkered pasts, giving them the opportunity to completely erase those checkered pasts if they only pick up arms and fight for him in the unnecessary slaughter of the Ukrainian people.
There
Now,
you go.
before I get into who he is recruiting, let's look at how many lives are being lost in the Russian side of things. According to a leaked/hacked Russian Defense Ministry report, 9,861 Russian troops have been killed and 16,153 have been injured since President Putin ordered the special military operations in Ukraine since February 24th.
Yeah, it's pushed
that
into
is
the gladiator program where you can win your freedom from jail.
Yeah,
pretty much.
What?
Yep. Much higher than Moscow had previously reported. They previously said that only 498 Russian personnel had been killed, and the U.S. had estimated that the death toll in Ukraine was at least 7,000 for Russian. So we know that's even higher, according to this leak.
It's terrible.
So,
it's bad for both
Wasn't that-
sides, right?
Wes, wasn't that like an accidental posting or something? How did that?
yeah, it was
happen?
like it was a leak. It was accident. It was a total
Yeah.
accident. They fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
a lot
powers
of
that
people
be over
dying.
there. Yeah. So the powers that be over there had to figure out how to fill those holes, and they noticed something. They noticed that because of the sanctions being imposed on Russia and their economy tanking, that more and more men were falling behind on credit card payments and alimony or child support payments. So they thought to themselves, hey, we could use these deadbeats to kill. So they offered them an opportunity.
An army of deadbeat dads is
An
intense.
army of deadbeat dads.
No, man.
That's right. Well, they're a bunch of pussies, is what they are.
Yeah,
that's a
not-
weak
that's-
army.
That's the
No, I mean,
worst
there's
one.
not a lot of leadership in there.
No, not a lot of leadership, not a lot of motivation.
They're also
So
just
many
going to run
sandals.
away. There's
Yeah,
no
the
chance
second
they're sticking around.
The second
Yeah.
they get a chance, they're going to bail.
If they get out of the bus, they just run away and scatter.
Well, they're not
Yeah, they
running.
bail on their kids. They're going
Like
to bail on the
roaches.
military.
Yeah.
They're walking quickly.
Yeah.
They get winded easily.
Yeah. And they'll probably be sent to the front lines, but the guys have been there for like over a month now, being like, you guys fucking handle it. And
They're all riding
it's-
in together. Like, hey, you guys
Yeah.
think we got to get out of here, right?
Every single one of them. Every single one of them has a different scheme to get out of there.
100%. They're probably going to show up at their ex-wives' houses and hide there.
They're all going to
Like,
invest in each other's shitty plans.
I don't even know how I got here. This isn't my fault.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna start a new business over there.
Yeah. So this information comes from the main intelligence directorate of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, who also said that they thought Putin and the Russian military were going to offer the same deal, as Will mentioned, to criminals with records. So you pick up a gun, we'll wipe your record clean. And with that, it is also known that now Putin is hiring the ruthless mercenaries from the Wagner Group. This group is a Russian paramilitary group, and they basically went into Syria. This is a picture of them in Syria, I believe. And basically, they're just vicious, and they create a kind of a buffer between the atrocities that Russia commits and the Russian government. So it's plausible deniability.
It's these people that do it, not the Russians, right?
Exactly. And
Bring in the
yeah.
terrorists too.
Isn't Ukraine letting people out of jail too to fight? Like, not?
I'm sure.
I'm
I
sure
think
they
they were
are.
doing this.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they are.
Yeah, I was gonna play a clip, but
I mean, this is a very common move in wartime, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but these guys are, they're in their 30s. They're ruthless. These are the same guys that went to Ukraine during, if you watch that documentary, what was it called, like One Long Winter, or the Winter on Fire. It's the same.
They were the ones who came in to.
I'm pretty sure those were those guys, the same kind of dudes. Yeah. So now, in addition to the huge death numbers, the Daily Beast also notes that this come as, quote, in between those thousands of deaths were a myriad of reports of Russian soldiers abandoning their tanks or feigning fuel shortages to avoid the war, along with similar reports of Russian soldiers seeking food from Ukrainian villagers. But
it's all frog of war, though, because I mean,
it's all frog of war,
from? Right? Yeah.
Yes. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that the Russian morale is high. He said that it's absolutely an irrefutable fact that the overwhelming majority of Russians support this war. Listen to this. Daily Beast reported this. This is interesting. It's not clear how much of that support is manufactured, however, as the new troll factory. Remember the sausage king? He had that troll factory.
Abe Froman,
the oligarch. No, not Abe Froman. He was the oligarch because he's like Putin's close guy. He was responsible for
the sausage king, the oligarch sausage king. Yeah,
exactly. So he has a new troll factory in St. Petersburg called the Cyber Front Z, and they've set up shop to flood the Russian internet with comments in support of Putin's aggression. This news outlet, Fontanka, reports that one of its reporters managed to infiltrate this propaganda operation, which is said to rely heavily on staffers who up until now were being paid to write phony reviews for like online shopping sites like Amazon. Now they've taken them, and now they're making up to $427 a month to post pro-Kremlin comments on videos shared online that are critical of the war.
I think some of them have gotten to our videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's like Bloomberg, He used to be Bloomberg used to have that deal.
He's like the Soros or the Bloomberg or whatever.
Why don't you go pop on over
Bloomberg
to our,
actually became president?
Pop on over to our Instagram video of Madison Cawthorn's thing, and I think a few of those people have made it into those comments.
American hero and Patrick Henry enthusiast, Madison Cawthorn.
They defend Madison pretty heavily.
And they hate Ukraine in those comments.
Look, Madison didn't serve our great country, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were saying
the main work from the article will be to create a patriotic picture in the comments under trending videos and in the category political and politics and news. So we might have some of these guys on ours. Reads a message from the curator of the Troll Factory's YouTube section for help with commenting. The curator reportedly sent staffers notes and pictures featuring the emblem of IRA FAN, a news site that is part of a media group whose board of trustees is headed by none other than Putin pal Evgeny Prigozhin. I think he's the sausage king. I'm not sure. And they said, quote, look, when you write that no one in Russia supports the actions of authorities, you write the opposite. You don't need to say the majority. I support it. Write that. Well, I have acquaintances that support the authorities. The curator was quoted saying. He's also denying that this is any involvement in the Russian Ministry of Defense. But of course, this is Putin's main guy, his best buddy, who is funding all this shit. So, of course, Putin's involved in these troll factories. So, he's getting desperate. Putin is definitely getting desperate. And the numbers coming out of the death toll of Russian deaths is way higher than he's reporting.
And look at the goalposts changing, man. He's changing. Like, okay, at first he was like, I'm going to totally take over Ukraine, remove the government completely, and install my own shit and get whatever I want. And now it's like, well, I just want Mariupol.
Yeah, now he's just trying to save face.
Yeah, like it's like I mean, maybe he was faking the whole time and he just wanted like the coastline, but it seems like he's pivoting now to like plan B or like.
You've got to imagine China's like, we're definitely a bigger power than Russia watching this all unfold. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They can't even take Ukraine. That's what China's
the troops are just running away. A lot of them. I mean, it's a shit show for Putin. So, but I thought this was pretty interesting.
Good on the internet though.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
they're like what's it called? K-pop fans. They're like in the top 5 troll Russians, and then K-pop fans.
But literally, we have to have
Chinese defense of the Olympics.
Yeah, we America has to have troll farms too, or like
we do too. We do too. Yes,
we must, right?
Of course,
of course.
Of course.
Every political party does that.
Dude.
I bet
we
they
have to.
Of course.
I think the political parties both have their own troll farms.
Why
That's what I'm saying,
wouldn't you? Yeah, why wouldn't you have
political
troll
parties
farms?
probably have their own
Oh,
troll
yeah, the
farms.
parties do.
Yeah, for sure.
Parties have their own. And if
Our
they decide
government
to
could-
together do something to somebody, then they just fuck with them.
Dude, that's what we should start as a troll farm. That's money.
Oh
right
man,
there.
we'd have little troll dolls on all of our desks.
Oh yeah, best troll. We could go like best troll of the week, like for best troll comment of the week.
Yeah,
that got
we'll
people fired up.
Build a little moat outside of our office. You have to cross a bridge.
The most inflammatory
The
comment.
most inflammatory comment gets a bonus.
No, I made this guy kill himself. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Trolled him
ruining
hard.
the world, you know.
yeah.
So that's what's going on over there in Russia and Putin's, frantic world.
All right. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on over there, right? Guys, what's the first thing you would do if you owned a hotel in South Dakota?
Ban bikers. No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I love
Okay.
bikers, but that's
Think-
what probably a lot of
think-
people would do.
Probably
Think-
market
think-
to bikers.
think ban-
though, right?
think
Yeah,
ban-
market to bikers is what you
Think
do.
banning of another group.
South
Set me up for something.
yeah. Oh, Cowboys, South Dakota,
Ooh,
right?
Yeah, they're
Like
dirty. They got
oilmen.
sand in their
You
boots.
guys are
Cowboys,
way off.
oilmen.
None of you said ban Native Americans from staying on the property, and that's exactly what Grand Gateway Hotel of Rapid City, South Dakota owner Connie Ure is implementing after a shooting of a Native American man happened in one of her hotel rooms by allegedly another Native American. That was it for Connie, who quite frankly didn't want to let Native Americans in to begin with. She knew better. And yesterday she released a statement on Facebook announcing her thoughts on Native Americans and the corrupt, dark money that's being funneled into her town from like MacArthur grants and stuff. A combination of Native Americans and dark money from nonprofits has really run her town down, and she had to voice her opinion saying this on Facebook after the shooting. Not DUE, but DO. Due to the killing that took place at the Grand Gateway Hotel on March 19th, 2022 at 4 a.m., plus all the vandalism we have had since the mayor and police department are working with the nonprofit organization, parentheses, dark money, we will no longer allow any Native American on property, double space in there, or in Cheers Sports Bar. Natives killing natives. Rancher and travelers will receive a very special rate of $59 a night. Book direct.
Holy shit!
Listen,
She's just going total segregation on this one.
Yeah, I've spent a decent amount of time in South Dakota from being at Sturgis and like talking to like locals or fixers there, and there is definitely a one way or another feeling on the Native American culture.
Connie's one way
out there. Yeah,
Connie's one way for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
She went on to state that she can't possibly tell, quote, who's a bad native or a good native, end quote. So it's going to be no natives from now on.
Not by the look of them. I tried.
Yeah, she's tried. Non-native ranchers
She's
and
got like a decision tree of physical characteristics.
I can't tell. No natives.
Are you Mexican or are you Native American?
How fine is your hair?
Yeah, exactly. Non-native ranchers, though, and non-native travelers get that $59 a night rate for not being native, though. Pretty good deal. Connie, sweet deal. Connie went on to say, we don't have enough trash bags on God's green earth to deal with the empty cans these natives leave in the rooms. And frankly, our parking lots aren't equipped for their horses. Obviously, Connie ruffled a few headdress feathers with her comments, and her Facebook posts have since been deleted from the Grand Gateway Hotel's main Facebook page.
Oh, really?
But not before the internet took screenshots of her comments. And now let's take a look at how reviews are going for the hotel. Would you like to see?
Sure. I'm sure they're going great.
Yeah. So Grand Gateway Hotel of Rapid City, you'll notice 3.3 stars and a lot of reviews. That's first of all, pretty low number for a hotel and a lot of reviews. I wonder why that is. Maybe they got a lot recently. Like, let's check them out. How about from Veronica Buckley, who said, incredibly racist. I'd leave 0 stars if I could. 1 out of 5 stars. How about from DX Ante, who says, I was at the front desk and I tried to get a room, but they pulled out a skin tone chart and took a good look at me. Unfortunately, I was a couple skin shades too dark to be able to stay at Grand Gateway. If you're anything besides Caucasian, then I would recommend not wasting your time here, as it's a whites-only hotel. 1 out of 5 stars. Did you hear that, Pat? You're a few shades too dark for Pat's out. Pat's not going to get the $59 rate.
Pat replies to them on Facebook with his thumb emoji, and they just block him.
Casting director told me one time I was ethnically ambiguous.
Oh yeah, for sure. Pat's not getting that $59 rate.
That guy
No
was
way.
lying to you so hard.
Who's a lady? Am I Middle Eastern? I don't know. Am I Hispanic? I don't know.
Connie would look at Pat
This guy could be
sideways.
Egyptian.
What else do we have going on? We have Levi, who says, I'm white. However, my son and wife are native. Unacceptable. 1 out of 5 stars. So Levi says he's white, but he married a troublemaking native woman and either had a child with her or she already had one. And quite frankly, he's not allowed at the hotel regardless of that scenario. But Levi certainly is if he needs a break from the family. He knows exactly where to go, right? No way they let his wife know if he's staying there or even let her pass the lobby, you know? So,
But honestly,
silver
the beds
lining
weren't
for
that
Levi.
bad. She slept in the parking lot.
Yeah. What else we got here? Turtle Warrior. Do you think Turtle Warrior is happy with him? A ban on natives? ? Ha! Racist hotel owner forgets whose land they're living on. So Turtle Warrior's been dealing with Connie's his whole life. He's gonna be fine. Just like his father before him and his father's father before him.
Mark,
he's gonna find somewhere else to stay.
Did you check out this? I'm sure you did because you saw the reviews. You checked out this hotel.
Yeah.
It is a you can usually judge a hotel by what amenities it has. This type of hotel has like silverware in their dining room. They have a boardroom. They have a spa. It looks like a mini major chain hotel, like a Marriott Plus.
They used to charge $200 a night, Pat. That's why the $59 a night is such a good deal. Yeah. Here's one from Mark Borgie, who says, 3 stars. This one's tough because the rates are great for ranchers and travelers, but I'm also not a huge fan of racism. Maybe it's just because I can tell the good natives from the bad on first sight that I'm going to have to knock a few stars off, whether that's fair or not. 3 stars.
I've been to this bar. I shit you not.
Cheers.
I've been to Cheers in Rapid
Cheers
City.
in Rapid City.
Yeah, I have. Because we had to stay there one week because all the hotels were booked up, and we had to stay in Rapid City. And I've absolutely been to Cheers.
Did you see any natives?
No, I don't remember.
No, of course not. They weren't allowed. It was a wink thing before, but now it's official. I think you guys get the gist of it. But let's take a look at some of the older reviews to see what type of place this was. Kind of like what Pat was doing before Connie showed off her hatred of Native Americans. Let's see what it was before. Chris M says, 1 out of 5 stars. My room ended up having black mold in it behind the wallpaper. Tried speaking to management for weeks with no response.
So can we get this switched out for white mold?
Yeah, exactly. And then 2 Hoops moves camp, 4 out of 5 star. One of my favorite places to stay. So he's a tough critic. He gave him 4 out of 5 stars, even though it's one of his favorite places.
Wow.
Listen, it's a bar right next to the hotel, and it's a fun bar. So I can see how he likes it.
Well, and
Wes, did you review this place?
No, but I should have. I would have given it. I would have given it
one of the best in the city.
Would have given it a good review.
5 stars.
It's a fun bar. Yeah,
10 fingers down.
It's very bar-y. It's perfect.
And
in South Dakota.
They got booze.
Yeah.
It's made of wood.
Yeah. And lastly, last review, they do not accept cats. What?
Wow.
I'm starting to think this lady's nuts. What? Connie's son, who is a manager or something like that at the family-owned Grand Racist Hotel, said that the ban on Native Americans isn't actually going to happen. You know, Mom just got into the sauce again. She's actually got a lot in common with those people she hates. His words, not mine. All right. Local and tribal leaders met on Tuesday to decide what the hell to do about Connie's comments, since, you know, they were insanely offensive and made by a business owner in South Dakota, a state with like a very high percentage of Native Americans living there, like 12%. It's like the 3rd highest state.
Oh wow!
It's not really a place where you want to do that.
So what are they gonna do?
Well, the mayor, Steve Allender, even weighed in, saying that what Connie said was disgusting and does not reflect the town's values, and that his office is going to do something about it. So, and I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, the situation is handle the situation. The situation is Connie hates Native Americans. Not sure.
Right. She's been
not
waiting
sure
for
what
this
you
her
can
whole-
do about that.
The whole time, this is her dream that this happened, so she can finally validate herself to kicking him out.
You know, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna get on Facebook. I'm gonna say something.
I told y'all this is gonna happen.
It's we shouldn't have let him in to begin with.
Years.
We
I
can't
told
keep
y'all.
throwing away all their cans.
Exactly.
Maybe recycle them, Connie.
I said, matter of time before they start killing each other.
Yeah. What did I tell you every night? What have I told you every night for the past 15 years? No natives. Police did arrest 19-year-old Quincy Bear Robe for the shooting in the hotel room on Saturday of a person who's still in critical condition at the hospital at the time of this recording. And Bear Robe is what Connie would describe as a bad native.
Right. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Sounds like it.
So there you go. But boys, we can go for $59 a night.
Right. I mean,
good for us. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
you
good
guys
for us.
can. I don't know.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Pat. Sorry.
Get him out of here.
Sorry,
But-
Pat. Yeah, I'm sure people are. How do you think this? Is she going to close? Is just going to
No.
shutter her?
Nothing's
going to
happen.
be like a Morgan Wallen type thing where.
I've got the #1 album in the country.
Yeah. So like, look, I mean, like, what was the bar in Austin that like one of the owners like got caught like being like a Nazi type thing? So they had it was on like Rainy Street. So for like months they had people picketing it outside, being like the owner's a Nazi with signs. That's probably what's going to happen here. But eventually, it's like people either get driven out by the protesters or they don't, and it's whether I don't think they're going to buy the place out from under her. It's just
Rapid City, she'll be okay.
It's whether people stay there or not, whether her business is going to go under or not.
Right.
I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's obviously a dick, but I don't know if there's anything you can do about that. Yeah.
She'll be okay in Rapid City.
Yeah. I think it might be a Morgan Wall, and she's going to get a lot of ranchers for $59.
Right. That ranch deal.
Yeah. And a pint at Cheers.
Right. The ranch deal is almost like a Morgan Wallen single release. It's like
I dare you to have a pint of Cheers and protest it.
They might all start just They might all start just getting openly racist at Cheers because the deal's so good.
yeah, this is now the place to go to
exchange your hatred of Native American stories.
Just let it fly.
Yeah.
I'm going to reward them for not being native.
Yeah.
Get a special rate.
Oh, honey, $59 for you. Let's spin the wheel.
That's pretty crazy that can happen.
What's your last name?
Is there any kind of legal? There's nothing illegal.
I don't think
about
they're
that.
looking. That's what they're looking into. That's what they're looking into.
Isn't segregation like illegal? There was something, right? That
Well, but the
made it
son
illegal?
has said that was just like her, being an idiot. That they're not actually going to. Obviously, no Native American. Maybe all Native Americans should stay there to piss her off. That would be interesting.
wow, yeah. Because if they really denied it based on race, then you would.
That's
you would
why.
actually have
That's
a
why I don't
case,
think they
right?
can do anything. Is because she deleted the post and they're not going to like actually implement that.
Right.
Because that would be illegal. But
It would be illegal against the Constitution.
But they're just going to, give them dirty looks, and I don't think Native Americans are going to want to stay there.
Right.
Unless
Not
they
going to
do-
want to go to Cheers.
unless they do it as a troll.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in there and shoot someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Any Native American that wants to
Hey,
commit
bro,
a
is it
crime
cool
should
if I
do it
shoot
at,
you in this
should
lady's
do it at
hotel?
the
It's gonna
Grand
piss her
Rapid
off.
Hotel.
Yeah, that's tough though for the guys like Bear, who this was one of their main stomping grounds, and then
Yeah. But he's going to jail for like
he's shot
20 years
somebody
anyways.
and
Yeah.
he can't go back. Yeah. So
Thanks, Bear.
Thanks, Bear. All right, let's spin it. Cup of coffee.
Flying into Tampa, right?
Looks like it's a Mark.
Flying into Tampa. It's me. Did you get your tickets booked?
Ooh, look at that non-stopper I'm going to get.
Oh, yeah. Thursday, April 7th. Come check out the boys that weekend in St. Pete.
TikTok is Pat.
Should I get the Spirit non-stop or the JetBlue non-stop?
What time you looking at
Yeah,
arriving,
complete
Pat?
flip-flop.
That's a 9:30 or a 10:30.
AM or PM?
Ooh, the JetBlue's a little earlier. But the
AM or
What time did we get in, Mark?
Like 2 p.m.?
Oh, I'm flying the red eye. I'm getting in like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
If
I'm
anybody
riding
wants to
with
hit
Will.
me up, Tampa.
Oh, man.
I'll be at the beach
I'm
early.
going to ride Will's
Oh,
back all the way to wherever we're going.
I'll be at the beach early. You can come find me.
I'm going to bring a razor and a six-pack.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to get each other's backs on the lotion. Well, that's it for us today. That's it for Hard Factor today. Oh, we got anything coming up?
Well, yeah. I
The
mean,
vacation, the trip.
We will be in Treasure Island, St. Pete, Florida.
Yeah, let's explain this real quick.
April 8th through 10th.
It's that. If you remember the Patreon, this is our annual Hive Trip. This is the first year we've done a complete Patreon year as independent business owners. So all patrons are invited, right? Come on down. I believe we made a post on Patreon in terms of like where we're staying, or is just
Oh yeah, we have a
Yeah.
whole thread talking about it. People are
that's just in
getting
the
their-
Discord, but
their-
some people
their
aren't in the
stuff
Discord.
booked.
Yeah.
Right. We can do it on the Patreon too. But yeah, essentially, Treasure Island is in St. Pete Beach, a small area of St. Pete Beach. And if you're staying in Treasure Island, you'll be within a half mile of us. Or if you're staying in St. Pete Beach, you'll be within like 1 to 2 miles of us. And we're gonna get it going. And
Smell us.
yeah,
Thompson,
good
Wesley, and I are going to rent a motorcycle. Well, I'm going to rent a motorcycle. He's going to get a trike, and you're more than welcome to join our.
No, I've
group.
already got
may-
my motorcycle rented.
We
Thank you very much.
may make it to Polk County. We
get mine?
we
You
also
better
may
hop in.
watch-
You better get one quick.
All
Eagle
of us
Rider?
may watch.
We're gonna get a
hockey game.
booze cruise
Yeah.
one of the nights. We'll
Booze
do a
cruise.
booze cruise.
Child. It's gonna be fun.
It's also Masters weekend. Found that out. I know you guys
baby.
don't care as much as I do, but I'm gonna be watching.
I'll watch
some
the
you
Masters.
gotta watch the Masters.
Come on.
Gotta
Gamble
that's
heavily on
down.
the Masters in
It's
Florida.
gonna be a fun
Same.
time. And then after that in April, we'll probably do the next trivia night after that sometime in April.
That's right. So April's is gonna be nice. But why don't you guys go on and most importantly get out there and have a great fucking day.